Peace, peace, y'all. This is another edition of Spyce Invaderz Tv. Today is November the 12th, 2020. Y'all want to thank all y'all for tuning in. Um, Peace and blessings to you all. As always, I hope everything is going on the upward spiral for you and yours. Man, peace and blessings to over all of you and your households. You feel me? Um, yeah, this is Spyce Invaderz TV. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you haven't subscribe, y'all. We have good conversation here. I have good topics I bring to you guys here. So, hey, make sure you subscribe to the page. Hit the notification bell once you subscribe, so every time that I post something, you'll get it. You'll know it'll come in your email. You know what I'm saying? So sign up. And check me out on other social media platforms. Facebook, Rashawn Looker, RASHONE LOOKER. Same thing on Instagram. Check me out. Yeah. So we gonna jump right into it, man. Today is a new day. It's a new day. I didn't post anything last week. During the elections, I was trying to pay attention to that deal there and watching all the foolery that started to take place. But the American people spoke. Y'all spoke. We spoke. People ain't had time for that for the foolery, man. They tired of Trump. He's out of here. And nobody got time for that. Everybody, like, people voted for Trump. I think I felt like they voted for his ignorance, and they were entertaining that. But the American people spoke, and American people spoke. That ain't with the foolery. It's too much that happened in folks' households. Households got turned upside down this year due to the pandemic. People, their jobs were in limbo. Jobs still in limbo. You got entrepreneurs that own businesses in jeopardy of shutting down. The PPP money wasn't enough for them to hold them down. In some instances, that money for some people, it just was enough to keep their lights on in their business. It wasn't enough for them to re-up on inventory. You know what I'm saying? And then the different guidelines do with states and things of that nature, opening back up certain states and stuff. Some businesses just can't hold on. They've been shut down since the beginning of this pandemic, and they can't hold on. They haven't been open to make money. So people are dealing with a lot of things, and a lot of emotions was running. I feel like this was one election where this was really emotional driven. People dug down, and you actually seen this year where people were just tired, man. People were just tired. You seen from the marches and unifying and you had whites, blacks, Asians, everybody in this country that were tired. You seen them marching and protesting and joining in. They were tired of the things that were not only just happening and the with DC and the top government, but local government, local level government, when your cities and states just tired, and people were fed up and voicing their opinion. So with that, Trump, you're out of here. You know what I'm saying? People tired. People don't got time. And now what we're seeing is him acting like a big baby. Oh, he don't want to talk. He don't have nothing to say. What do you have to say, Trump, to your supporters? You can't even talk to them. You're so salty. But what we have to understand is this guy was never a politician. But somewhere in his small brain, I like to call him lace front Trump because of his hair. Lace front Trump. That's what I call him. You know what I'm saying? And I just, you know, in his brain, he really thought, I don't know, he thought he had it. But, you know, thanks to Georgia for cleaning it up and bringing it home. Thanks for PA for cleaning it up and bringing it home. Nevada, you know what I'm saying? Arizona, you know what I'm saying? Biden flipped states that were known to be red states. And we have to understand another thing here, man. With this election right here, I think it sent a clear message. I don't care if you're a Democrat, if in the next 4 years, if it's a Democrat presidential candidate or Republican, I believe the American people sent a clear message that they're not with the bull crap no more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to come with something. Even Biden is in there. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. I even felt like that at one point because you know I was like, hey, you know, I'm just not gonna be pointing and talking about other people. I'm gonna let you know I was the same way. Like most of us was like, fuck, I gotta vote between these two guys. Like this is all we got. You know what I'm saying? But when you step back, and I had to step back and dig inside of myself, and weeks of talking with you guys and digging into myself as well, I'm like, man, we can no longer keep hearing this guy. So it was about, listen, let's get this guy out of here because households are already tossed up. You have people already stressed out. We can't keep hearing this guy right here. And he's not doing nothing for nobody. He's not making nothing happen. For the country. He's not helping. You know, we already know the president don't have much. You know, it's the Senate. It's the House who's running the show. You know what I'm saying? But but we can't have a president that every time you're on social media just spewing fucking negativity. Every time we hear of you, as every freaking week nonstop since this guy been in office, there's been something with this guy. Every week. It has not been about the country business. Every week. If you could go to the whitehouse.org and tell me what have you seen him actually, what has he signed off on, like consistently work that need to be done for the country. So let's just talk about the work for the country, because that's what the work that need to be done for the country. What has he done? That trickles down even into Senate going back and forth arguing. They can't do their freaking jobs. So I think now the American people sent a clear message. We're not with the foolery. We're not going to tolerate you as a president coming in doing any fuckery. Like, we're just not going to do it. You know, so I think now that's the first step. Let's get this guy out and get someone with some sense. And then I think now more so than ever, I think more people are going to start focusing in more attention to their local governments as well, as executive government with the presidents and everything of that nature, and Senate and stuff. I think people are going to start focusing more attention at it and seeing that, actually getting the understanding that, hey, we have to get to the Senate. When we want some change, this is what we have to do. We can't keep talking on this level. We're gonna come at the local government, but then we're gonna go further. We're gonna be moving and going further. And I think more people are going to start to do that. You know, I think a lot more people have woke up and they're just tired, man. So shout out to the American people. Once again, thanks to Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, PA for bringing it home, man. For bringing it home, they were tired. You know what I'm saying? They just show that everyone is tired. They're not with the foolery anymore. So, man, that's that, man. That's not that. But what we talking about today is, as you may see the title, Biden's truth is Trump's lie. And we're going to talk about the 666 immigrant children. They can't find their parents. This was due to what Trump took away, separated the children and their parents at the border. And you had kids 5 and younger being detained as young as 5 and below, being detained, separated from their parents. They don't know what's going on. Now you can't find these 666 children, immigrant children. You can't find their parents. You know, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't get the proper information. This just shows that they just snatched those children away from their parents. Just snatched them away. And you know what kind of mental stress that these kids possibly had, and this took place in 2018. We're in 2020 now, the end of 2020. These kids been taken away from their parents. You know what I'm saying? So if this kid was 4 years old, taken away from his parent, what that kid could be possibly 6, 7 years old right now, been separated from his parent, don't even understand what's going on. You're around these strange people. You know what I mean? Craziness, man. And this is somebody that these people were voting for, and you got people capping for the president on social media. They for Trump, and mad and saying that the election was rigged. Like, are you freaking serious? The votes that he got, he's lucky to have got that. He wound up, well, they're still supposed to be counting. He got 217. Biden got 290. You really, like, let's think about this here. This guy Trump had no experience as a president. He had no political experience, period. I shouldn't say no experience as a president, because most people, you know what I'm saying. He had no political experience at all. None. He has done no he hasn't ever held a public servant job at all. He hasn't done anything to help the public. All he has done publicly is take. So this guy comes in here, and you really serious, and the people who support him, what are you freaking supporting? So you mean to tell me you have a child, right? Let's put the shoe, because to see what I see and listen to a lot of people that support someone like a Trump, they don't deal with reality, man. They have tunnel vision. They don't see nothing else going on. They just want to see this ignorance. This is their vision right here. They don't see nowhere else. They don't see. They can't take the blinders. They got the blinders on. They can't see nothing but right here. For some reason, they infatuated with this guy, and they don't take the time they don't have rational thinking. They don't have common sense. So let's take this for instance here. Shout out to Michigan too for bringing it home too and turning. So let's think about this here. Let's just use Michigan for instance. So say you traveling. So say it's some Americans trying to flee America and go into Canada, right? So say when you hit that border and then they detain you, you know what I'm saying, in Canada, and they separate you from you and your children. You know, they separate you from your children. So you not gonna go crazy about that? So someone disrespects your mother, gets on TV and disrespects your husband or your mother, your father who served in the armed forces, and you ain't gonna be you ain't gonna find that disrespectful. Someone who disrespects women and disrespects people, just disrespect and doing it and thinking that all of this is a joke. Like everything is a publicity stunt for this guy, and he's actually taking it as a joke, and he's playing on a lot of you people. Like, he's playing on your hatred. So if he knows that you have a hatred for something, for whatever group of people, or you have hatred for black people, hatred for Hispanic people, he's playing on that. And he's playing you. You know what I'm saying? He's playing on that, and that's his whole get down. and this is the person that you cap for. This is the person. I only come here and I deal with facts. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And Trump done just what he was trying to, his whole aim. He told people a month or two ago that he wasn't going to leave quietly. He didn't want to leave quietly. He told people that. So this is him not trying to leave quietly. He lied and said that the votes were stolen and the voting process was rigged. I mean, so my number one question, one of my questions here is, so was anybody surprised that Trump started calling and talking about the presidential race? It was rigged. Was anybody surprised at that? You know what I mean? He told you that he was gonna try. He wasn't gonna leave quietly. So were you surprised during the while they're counting, while the counts are coming in, the votes are coming in, he's claiming it's rigged. Like, he's calling this before it's not even over. It's just we starting, we getting in the process. The votes are coming in, and you're yelling it's rigged. And he's yelling it's rigged because he started to see. He knew what was going on, and he knew that it was gonna shift. Whatever states he was leading in, he knew he wasn't gonna lead. He knew once they count those mail-in votes, he knew things were gonna change. He knew things were gonna turn. See, what they were doing with Trump, what they were doing, period, what just my observation and what I noticed during the election, they were counting those. They were going outside the states and counting those. They was inside the states, but counting what I was paying attention to, what I caught. It may not be something you've seen, or you may not view it this way. But what I viewed was they were taking the towns outside of the metro cities. And see, they knew they were taking, like, let's say in the South, they were getting those redneck towns. The smaller population towns in the South or whatever, or out in the Midwest, getting those, like you say, you got somewhere like Detroit or whatever. They didn't start town Detroit getting into the inner city, Detroit's in the cities until later on, but they were getting the outskirts. And so he was getting those numbers. So it might have been like 15 or 2,000, 1,500 or 2,000 residents in this one town here or whatever. So he was getting those votes. So they were tallying up, going around getting those votes. But as they start working their way into the center, where the population was more and dense, that's when I started to see it flipping. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen that. Trump's seen that. So he start calling. His brain he start clicking. He started understanding, like, oh snap, this is what's going on. We gonna lose. He's seen it earlier. One thing we gotta understand is Trump is a businessman, whether his business has failed or not. He know numbers. You know what I'm saying? He knew though. He knew the numbers. He knew that it was gonna change. If he don't know nothing else, he knew numbers, and he knew them numbers was gonna change. He knew he was on top, but he also knew that he was dealing against a real politician too, and he's not one. So reality set in with him. This ain't no conspiracy talk. This is all talk, and just somebody paying attention. And you've been watching somebody like this guy for a long time. And let's be clear. I'm from the North. I reside in the South right now, but for the past 20 plus years. But I'm from the North, born and raised from New Jersey, and what I know. And Trump had his casinos in Jersey and Atlantic City. And what I knew is the North wasn't freaking with Trump. Okay, he might have had Pennsylvania before, but he wasn't going. They showed him they wasn't dealing with the BS this time. He caught Pennsylvania before, but they wasn't going to deal with him this time. I knew for sure that the North wasn't going to mess with him. The tri-state area consists of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Boston. I think, if I'm mistaken, man, correct me, Long Island. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get this correct here. Out of the tri-state area, the first time, Pennsylvania he got that. That was the only state in the tri-state area on the north. But what you seen this time, you actually seen from, let's see here, from Virginia going up. Nobody rock with them. Nobody rock with them. Not one. You know what I'm saying? Not even from Virginia. Let's go back to DC. From DC going on up. Nobody rock with him. So he lost all of that. You know what I'm saying? He lost all of that. On the west side, and no, after Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Cali, Nevada, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, nobody mess with him. You know what I'm saying? So then you go into I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. The states that rock with him, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised in no, I wasn't surprised in none of these states right here who rock with him. Yeah, let's just be clear on that. I wasn't surprised at none of the states that rock with him. From the Montanas to the South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. I was a little Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Idaho, Utah. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't surprised in none of that. Kentucky, South Carolina, West Virginia. He lied to West Virginia. Where your coal at? Y'all thought y'all was gonna get, y'all still voted for him. West Virginia. He lied to y'all, told you he was gonna bring coal back. Remember that? Yeah. So I wasn't surprised in none of that. But you know, one thing is factual about Trump is he is who he is, man. He's a whole savage, and like I said, he's a whole savage. He had no political experience. No, he hasn't held not one public servant job. And, you know, he just handled this country, man, and in a way like an experienced person. And my thing is, how could we, you know, in this country, it's funny to me how this guy got elected, however it was. This guy got elected. They voted him in as president with no experience at all. And I feel like that needs to change. You should have some political background, because we're in a country that you can't get a job based on your experience. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have experience, for a certain job, if I have it, I don't have a doctor's degree. I never worked on did surgery on nobody's body. So you think they just gonna let me walk into a hospital and do surgery on somebody? And I just walk in. Yeah, I can make up a name tag and say Dr. Rashawn, but you think they're gonna let me? No. You think I could just walk into the railroad and say, yeah, I'm here to, you know, for the engineering job. I never had no experience, no education, nothing. You think I could just go? You think I could just? Yeah, I can open up a dentist office. I can open it up. I can get all the stuff, buy it, and put it in there. But you think they're gonna let me work on somebody's mouth? Yeah, I might get away with it. I might do a couple of mouths. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to jail. You know, especially once I jack up somebody's mouth. Gig is up. You come in there for a filling and I pull all your damn teeth out. Fuck it. Let's just get this over with. So next time you ain't got to worry about that. We just go take them all out in the back. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So, man, I can't do that. So we can't do that. We have jobs where you got to be classified. Like, I'm in the transportation business. You have to have a license for that. I can't jump behind the wheel of a bus, a tractor trailer, a train, conductor, or nothing without having certification. Those jobs you need certification to drive, because first and foremost, you're on the roads, highways and roads, you know, back roads and stuff, driving buses with passengers. You got to get certified for that. They got to make sure that you're competent enough to do you can handle this. Same thing with trucking. You know what I'm saying? You're legally driving a weapon down the road, because if you hit somebody, that's how they're gonna look at you. Real talk. Same thing as a train. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know those signs. You gotta know when to stop and go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to slow down. So they gotta test you on that. That is those jobs. So how the heck do we let somebody that has had no political experience in the office? I'm freaking confused about that. And you know how they say, you know how we say in business, you get what you pay for. You get who you hired. So United States got who they hired for that time. You know what I'm saying? And he showed us. This is what happened when you hire somebody with no experience. One thing for certain is the citizens that voted for Biden let you know that the behavior that Trump displayed, like I said earlier, ain't going to be tolerated. So whether you're Republican, Democrat, president, it's not going to be tolerated. Senate, you're up next too. You know what I'm saying? The people, we're going to start coming at y'all. People are going to really start coming down on y'all because people know who is making the calls really. And the president is just a puppet, but we not going to sit there and keep listening to somebody just spew hatred and separation, you know what I'm saying, and continue to do it with no regard in the midst of a pandemic. And people need to figure out, hey, listen, what are you gonna put in play? What are y'all gonna put? You are the president. You set the precedents of everything. So if he was on point, the Senate could have been, we could have stayed on top of the Senate. You know what I'm saying? If he was on point. But you know, that's another thing. Things got so bad that, you know, even with Trump, the Department of Justice, the head of the Department of Justice, since all of that, him yelling about the election was rigged, this disrespectful for the people who worked the election, and they didn't call the election right off back. It took them 4 days. They were counting all of those melons around the other states that had to count their votes up. And this guy is disrespectfully talking about the election is rigged. You're like disrespecting the workers who had to count it. You're disrespecting the country again and spat in their face, spat in the American people's face, and just calling it rigged because it didn't go your way. It's not going the way you thought it should go, Trump. But nobody was surprised. You know, I wasn't. So on Monday, this past Monday, November the 9th, 2020, the head of the DOJ, the head of the Department of Justice, Richard Pledger, the head of the elections branch, he resigned. And Pledger he held that job. Pledger's been the head of the elections branch for 10 years. And he was proud. He held the John C. Kennedy Award for exceptional integrity and professionalism. He was proud of that award, and his integrity, you know, he was so intact that he knew with Trump, this election, him yelling fraud and all of this, he said, I can't be a part of this. And this goes back to something I spoke about some weeks ago when I was speaking about, you know, man, when you have integrity, and if you feel like you can't do your job and somebody's making your job hard, and when you hold and have integrity, you'll walk away before you let somebody tarnish your legacy and tarnish what you have built and what you stand on. And that's what Richard Pledger, that's what he did. He said, hey man, I pride myself on it. I'm not about to let you, you know what I'm saying, like do this. I'm not about to have my name attached to this. And he stepped off. I say kudos to a man like that. That man took pride, and that says a lot. But see, the Trump supporters don't pay attention to that right there. They don't know that right there. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get factual out of a Trump supporter. All they're gonna talk about is hatred. But see, this is some factual stuff. This just took place. People stepping down like it has been doing since his presidency. People has been stepping down. People has been going to jail. You know what I'm saying? All types of craziness. And so I'm trying to go carefully here, you know, through my notes for y'all, you know, because like I said, anytime I talk about something, I try to make sure I bring all the facts as possible. I'm not saying everything that comes out my mouth is Bible, but if I'm going to bring up names and dates and times, I try to be as factual as I can. Make sure that I have everything in line. And I don't care about anybody trying to fact check me or checking me or leaving comments. I'm open to that dialogue right there. That's what I'm not here just to speak to y'all. I'm here for the talk. You know what I'm saying? And for the record, Attorney General William Barr issued a memo to prosecutors, right, saying to look into this voter fraud, right? And once he did that, that was part of the things where Richard Pledger, which was the head of elections crime. So the elections crime branch. Richard Pledger was the head of the election crime branch. So that means any suspicion of a crime, he's on it. And it says he held the John C. Kennedy Award for exceptional professionalism and integrity. He held that. So if he, you know, he's a bulldog then. So any freaking inclination of a fraud, that guy would have been on it. He's seen none. And he said, I'm out of here. So then you had William Barr, the Attorney General, which he sent message to the prosecutor saying to look into the voting fraud. He didn't say it was. He said look into it. I guess because Trump rambling off. So the Attorney General, William Barr, said look into it. So, but you have right now, what you've been having is Trump just running to the media talking about trying to get, as he do, trying to get his people hyped. But that ain't doing nothing. You got to have facts. They say, okay, yeah, if you think that's what happened, show us facts. Show us why you think. But then you're going to do it in the middle of it. You didn't wait till everything came out. You going right in the middle and you like, stop the counting. Stop the counting. What's wrong with you, bro? So yeah, man. So that's what's going on. There's really no factual basis, man. So all y'all Trump supporters, man, stop it, man. Like, there's no factual basis. What facts do you have? This has been going on for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what facts do you have to stand on? Even during this election, I noticed another thing with the media too. You know, it was like once Trump said what he said, the media seemed to get they were a little timid and scared. You know, when I talk about your stations like CNN and your local news stations that were reporting it around the country. I don't know all y'all stations, but when the elections was going on, you know, y'all got the reports. So if you notice, you know, some of them, the numbers were off and some was, you know, because when it hit 99%, okay, whatever state, if it turns red, 99%, the Republicans get it. If it turned blue, 99%, the Democrats get it. So it got to a point where, man, they was holding the 99% for a minute before they was still giving it to whatever said candidate. You know, they were holding that, you know what I'm saying? And I seen like, it was like the media seemed to be a little timid and fearful after Trump said that. And that was part of his ploy to throw a monkey wrench in there. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the counting to stop. But what happened, what I noticed is, what I had noticed through, you know, when we were waiting for those other states' counts to come in, what I noticed was, it seemed like at one time they wound up just throwing all the numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? And hey, then you seen how it went in Biden's favor. Because they were just, it seemed to me, like they were just at one point they just said, hold on, we're not even gonna start putting them out there. We're gonna wait till we get all the numbers in, and then we just go throw them out at one time and be done. Even though they still weren't done, they were still having to count. I think, you know, they still count. I don't even know the state I'm in, North Carolina. They not even freaking finished yet. I don't even think they even freaking turned theirs in yet. I don't even know what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? If I'm clear on that. But like I said, with no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man, Trump, he attempt to it almost seemed to work with him trying to hold up the election. It almost seemed to work in his favor. Let's talk about panic, man, real quick. And that's what Trump did. He started panicking. Trump was in a panic mode. When a person is in a panic mode, desperation sets in. They start acting frantically and saying things, out of fear. See, us folks with no wool over our eyes, you know what I'm saying? We can see that, I seen it within Trump. And he got good cause to be panicked, because he knows that once he's out of that seat, he's going down. It's going to be so many allegations. It's going to be so many court cases with him. Let's just think about Qasim and Iran, that bombing that killed the General Qasim. Iran, let's not forget, if nobody don't remember, go back and fact check me and look it up. Back earlier in the summer, about June, July, Iran put it out there on CNN. Iran put it out there on CNN that they got a warrant for Trump. They know he's a sitting president. They can't touch him. They said, but once he's out of office, they had a warrant issue for him and 34 others for the war crime and killing Qasim. And it's funny that was never, it was put out there through CNN, but never brought up. That was a good point, and nobody knew why Qasim, why they did that to that general. No, nobody had no clear understanding. But Iran, they said they would get their revenge. And there was some things from understanding when I read after they put that statement out. I read some things, and there was some things that went on, like they supposedly shot down or sent some warning shots at a couple of jets, fighter jets or whatever that the United States that we have. But they didn't, and nobody got killed. They just sent some warning shots. But they said they were gonna get their revenge, and I guess they dug into the process and looked and did their due diligence, and they like, hey, look, we gonna get that guy. We know he's a sitting president. We can't do nothing now. So, we can't forget about that. You can't forget about a lot of other things come up with these women. You know what I'm saying? New York, the tax situation, his charity, with him and his children he had in New York, based out of New York state or whatever. So it's a lot of things so much that has went on since this guy has been in the office that you forget, because there's so much stuff been going on. They've been dragging this guy since he got in, but what you see doing that, it was the election, man. That was that election was Trump day of reckoning, as well as his karma knocking on his door. From every disrespectful thing that he said to people that did no harm to him, to all his actions of separating children from their families at the border, young children. You gotta have some compassion, man. I understand there's laws and rules and you can't be crossing the border. I get it. I understand all of that. But you have to have some compassion. These people are not coming. They're coming with their children. So what crime are they trying to commit? They're coming with their children trying to form a better life. No, it may not be the right. It's not right. I'm not going to say may not. It's not right that it's illegal. They know it's illegal. But this is the chances they are taking for a better way of living. So you not only want to lock them up, you lock the children up, young babies, separate them from their parents. You know how traumatizing that can be? You just think about if you watching this, you just think about if you have a young child, even if your child ain't young, your child could be 21, you can have a young adult. Your child being snatched away from you and y'all separated from each other. Don't know where they taking your child. Your child don't know where they taking their parent. No one knows what's going on. It's frantic. These people got guns. They look strange to you. You're a child. You don't know what's going on. And now you somewhere you don't know what's going on. You don't know where your mother, where your father, where they're gonna go. Are they coming back? What's going on? As a child, you can't even process that crap. And you take and separate a child from their mother, still to this moment, and the new administration coming in, and now they're trying to clean it up, and you have 666 children separated from their family. They can't find their parents because they didn't have the proper information on the parent. Wow. You know they were calling it and saying that was like a kidnapping, man. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. Why would you do that? At least keep the children with their parents, man. You got to be heartless. And this is somebody you think that was a win? Come on, man. That was heartless, man. That's evil, man. And for you to be a president of a country and stand for something like that, even when Obama was in there, that's something that he didn't want to do. See, he understood family and the value of that. See, this guy as president, you never even seen a closeness with him and his wife. Man, you never even seen it. That lady just looked like she was killing time with this joker. Let's be real, man. You never seen a family structure with him and his wife Melania or whatever. You never seen that. How many times have you seen him with his son and his family? How many times have you seen them together looking like it was a loving situation? Looking like anyone cared? You haven't seen it. You know what I mean? So it really was no surprise that a guy like that would do that. And let's be clear here. Nobody's really... So for Biden, it's going to take 4 years of him just trying to get things in order from what Trump didn't do, the previous administration didn't do. It's going to take things for him to get that in order before we can even move on. Let's be clear with that. Let's be clear with that. Like, he's going to be able to put some things in place, like, try to get some things worked. You know what I mean? That take care of the situation with the pandemic. But he's going to have to go back and fix and clean up relationships or whatever that were kind of like going stale or dead, or no conversations between the allies. He's going to have to fix a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, before he can do a lot of other. You understand that? So we got to be clear on that stuff too when it comes to Biden. Let's be clear on that. But we also got to maintain and understand we got to keep our foot on the necks of these people, from local government to executive government. You got to keep our foot on their necks. When we see issues in our cities and states, we have to get to the people and that we need to, from the city council, the mayors, the governors of your state. That's what we have to do. You know what I mean? We have to let these people know we're not playing no more, and this is what we need, and this is what needed to be done. And because we have to understand, all these people that work they're public servants. They work for the people. We don't work for them. They work for us. But for so long, these people, we haven't been focused as a whole. We have to come together and focus on that. We have to put the same energy. If we put the same energy that we put into making sure we got that first of all, that showed. We put that energy into making sure we got this guy out of there with that ignorance. We got him out of there. So that showed. That sent a clear message to politicians that we not having it. That was a clear message, folks, that we not having it. So we have to keep that energy up, ladies and gentlemen. We have to keep that energy up. We have to keep schooling our young adults as well, because they're going to carry the torch. And we got to keep keeping them. And big ups to all the young adults, man. You know what I'm saying? They so fiery, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they with that action. And we got to make sure we keep them there, man, and keep up with them, man. and they so fiery, man. You know what I mean? Big ups to the young folks, man, for real. And in closing, and let me talk about this real quick too before I close out. So it's the lady Emily Murphy. She's administrator of government services. So it seems like she's trying to step in, and she's supposed to be part of the transition when a new president comes in, and she's supposed to be part of that transition, and she's supposed to she's supposed to be she's the transition for part of the transition of an incoming administration. Emily Murphy is her name. She was appointed by Donald Trump, right? Emily's job is to sign letter of assertment. This allows funding for president transition team and allows the Biden team access to current government officials, so everyone could be on the same page. See, but she's moving slow. She's not responding to Biden's team so they can get access to government information or the other government workers, so everybody so they can be on the same page. You know how when you got a new, let's say you got a new management team or a new worker coming in and say you're quitting, you're going to be leaving and going on to a new position, but they hire somebody new to come in to take your position. So they put them with you so you could train them, or you could give them the update or the lowdown on how things go, right? So, but you have that. And this lady, Emily Murphy, she's the middleman in between that transaction, where she got to sign off like, okay, yeah, you can go talk to blah, blah, blah. And this is, yeah, you can get those papers. She's slow rolling. This is someone that Trump appointed. So, see, he's everything he could possibly try. Keep trying to throw the kitchen sink at everything to stop this process, but it's going to keep going. And as you seen yesterday, you seen him in the media, you know, yesterday, on Veterans Day, looking like a child, man, looking like a kid with his lip poked out. He walking, looking like a kid, like he just, I don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, it's ridiculous, fam. But yo, in closing, man, I want to say this to my black brothers and sisters. Right now, I just want to talk to my black brothers and sisters about this right here. And I've said this earlier before in another post. You can't say you're not down with politics when our people been a part of the country politics since they brought us here on the boats. And then they sold our people around this country that they call United States of America. They sold us. They sold our ancestors around this country to work this land. You cannot say, and they fought for us. They fought to keep us in that position too. They fought to keep us and wanted to keep us as slaves. You can't say that you not part of politics when it's been in your blood. It's in your blood to have an understanding of this political game, that at least have some knowledge, to at least voice your opinion. So it's like you just gave up your rights. You know, being in the South, I can't help to think when I ride by and I'm riding and I'm out in the country and I see a bunch of open land, man. And at times I might see I might see a house sitting way back in the far on this land, man. I can't help to think, but man, my ancestors sweat blood and tears are in this soil, are in that soil. I can't help to think to see the shadows of my ancestors when I ride out in the country and I see open land. Any piece of open land I see, I cannot help but think about the ancestors that worked that land. And sweat and blood is in that soil. So if you black and you an adult and you not voicing your opinion at times on politics and you not having them conversations with your brothers and sisters, but you politicking in the hood, you gotta know the politics. You know the politics of your hood. You know the politics of your block. You know the politics of your building. but you don't know in politics and the government. Somebody asks you, what's the electoral college? You saying some dumb shit like, I ain't never go to no college. What college is that? Your dumb ass don't know, but you politicking in your hood. You controlling your hood. But you controlling your hood. You know what's everything popping on your block. Nobody can't do this on the block. This my block. Nah, ain't your block, bro. It's the government block. You heard? It's the government block. But if you knew how to swim through the politics, you could possibly take over that block legally. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we all grow. I ain't always been with the politic game, but as I said, when you become an adult and you get mature, you know what I'm saying? It's knowledge and understanding that you seek when you become an adult. And a man is knowledge that you seek. You don't want to walk around not knowing basic things in life. But we cannot be roaming our neighborhoods and talking about this our block, and you know the politics of your whole city, like the hood politics of your city, and maybe your whole state, but you don't know the real government politics of the whole shit. You know what I mean? And so so use that same energy, man. If you walking around on that and you standing on that right there, you know what I mean? You should want to know what's going on around you political. And you should want to have that knowledge. Nobody say you got to be knee deep and run for mayor. It'd be cool if you do. You know what I'm saying? It'd be cool if we do. But you do want to have that knowledge and do want to have that understanding and want to have that conversation. If anything, if you got children, you want to have that knowledge to pass it on to your kids and install the things in them so they can be knowledgeable of government workings, at least in your own state. You know what I'm saying? And then that way, you know, it won't be no generational thing where we have ones running around saying they not voting for this, that, and third because the president don't do shit. Well, the president just a pawn. And if you know that, then you should be paying attention to the other things. That the Senate, the House, the ones who's busting the moves. They're the ones cutting the checks. Hence, COVID-19. The president ain't cut you no damn check. The president ain't put that in motion. Why do you think that shit's still in limbo? Because the Senate. It ain't because of the president. Yeah, Trump wanted to sign off on it. He was ready to sign off on it. I mean, me personally, when it comes to that, I believe Trump, he would have gave the American people a lot more than $1,200. Now that I would say, I believe he would have. You know what I'm saying? I believe he would have, because he about that money, and he knew that it was all about boosting the economy. So he had to sign off on it. He wasn't gonna go against a whole house. He was gonna sign off, so he signed off on it. That's what he had to do. It was gonna get done regardless. Understand that as a pandemic. So, but what I go back to say is, you should want to know the political game, the understanding of the politics. You know what I'm saying? Not just the hood politics. The government politics. You should want to understand that, have an understanding, so at least you know what you're looking at when you're looking at it. If you're looking at the election, you know what you're looking at. When they talk about the electoral votes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, your whole state vote, but how many electorals each state holds? It goes by the number of residents in your state. It's part of the reason why they do the daggone census, because the larger your state, the more electorals you'll have, which is made up of 2 senators from each state and 4 and the reps. That's your electoral. You know what I'm saying? Your college is made up like that. You know, 538. So man, hey man, all I'm saying is, we cannot be black and say that we ain't down with politics when it's been in our blood, man, whether you known it or not. It's been in your blood since our ancestors were brought here on them boats and sold around this country that they call United States, and worked this land and built this land. Our people did that. We've been part of the politics. There's been the arguments to keep us enslaved, to keep us down. The Civil War. You heard? So it was part to keep us down, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been part of the politics ever since. They did not want us to learn how to read because they knew we would get smart. We knew we would learn and knew that what they was doing wasn't right. But a lot of us house Negroes, our ancestors, you know, you just got to call it what it was. The ones that are house niggas, they didn't know. They thought that that's how it was supposed to be. It wasn't. So that's all I'm saying, man. This Spyce Invaderz TV, I'm your boy Rashawn. It is November the 12th, 2020, man. And we're going to have a new president and Joe Biden. And this segment is Joe Biden's truth is Trump's lie. Not saying that Biden's going to be best or better, but we getting that hatred out of the office. And now we have to focus on and what's needed for the state of this country, what's needed for the people, for us to progress and move forward. You know what I mean? And we have to put that same energy, because the message has already been sent that we as American people not dealing with the foolery. So we have to keep that same stance, y'all. Peace and blessings, man, to all y'all, over all your households. And next week, tune in. I got another great topic I'll be talking about. But I'm your boy, Rashawn, a.k.a. Looker. This is Spyce Invaderz TV. And I'm out. Salute.